Hello ladies and gents, today we're going to talk about scientific study of words, namely lexicology. So we have today such kind of discussion points. The first is subject matter of lexicology, second types of lexicology and its link with other branches of linguistics. The third one is relationships, approaches and the sub-branches of lexicology. The next one is word and word studies in lexicology. So the last one is comparative study of English and Uzbek languages. So subject matter of lexicology, as it's known, the term lexicology is derived from Greek origin, from lexis, word, and logos, science. Lexicology is a part of linguistics which deals with the vocabulary and the characteristic features of words and word groups. The term vocabulary is used to denote the system of words and word groups that the language possesses. So the term word denotes the main lexical unit of a language resulting from the association of a group of sounds with a meaning. This unit is used in grammatical functions. It's the smallest of a language which can stand alone as a complete utterance. For example, the word spring can be considered as a word and as a sentence at the same time. So the term word group denotes a group of words which exist in the language as a ready-made unit, has a unity of meaning, the unity of syntactical function. For example, the word as loose as a goose means clumsy, and it's used in a sentence as a predicative. He is as loose as a goose, or other function of the sentences. Also, we can use this word group. Thus, the literal meaning of the term lexicology is the science of the word. Lexicology as a branch of linguistics has its own aims and the methods of scientific research. Its basic task is a study and the systematic description of vocabulary in respect to its origin, development and its current use. Lexicology is concerned with words, variable word groups, phraseological units, and the morphemes which make up words. So there are 5 types of lexicology as it's known. So the first one is general lexicology, second special lexicology, third descriptive lexicology, 4 historical, and the last one is comparative lexicology. So the general lexicology is a part of general linguistics which studies the general properties of words, the specific features of words of any particular language. As it's known, there are lots of languages in the world, but no one exactly knows how many languages exist in the world nowadays. But there are 2 options. For example, according to American scientists, there are more than 700 languages, and according to European scientists, there are about 506,000 languages. So the next type is a special lexicology. Special lexicology deals with the words of a definite language. For example, English lexicology, Russian lexicology, Kazakh lexicology, Uzbek, and so on. The next type is descriptive lexicology. It studies the words at a synchronic aspect. It's concerned with the vocabulary of a language as they exist at the present time. For example, by the name synchronic, syn it means together with, chronos, time. So the next type is historical or diachronic lexicology. It deals with the development of the vocabulary and the changes it has undergone. For example, in descriptive lexicology, the words to take, to adopt are considered as being English, not different from such a native words, child, food, stone. But in historical lexicology, they are treated as borrowed words. For example, childhood, freedom, and other such kind of words in the historical point of view, they are considered so compound words, but synchronically they are considered as derived words. So the next type is comparative lexicology. So it deals with the properties of the vocabulary of two or more languages by comparing them. In comparative lexicology, the main characteristic features of the words of two or more languages are compared. For example, Russian-English lexicology, or English-French lexicology, or Uzbek-Italian lexicology, and so on. So the lexicology is closely connected with other aspects of language. For example, grammar, phonetics, the history of the language, and the stylistics. So lexicology is connected with grammar because the word seldom occurs in isolation. Words alone do not form communication. So in these cases, we need grammar rules in order to make sentences. So the next, lexicology is linked with phonetics because the order and the arrangement of phonemes are related to its meaning. For example, let's take the word pit and the tip. So these two words consist of the same sounds, but the combinations are different. By different combinations, we can understand different meanings here. So the next is the lexicology is closely connected with the history of the language. In examining the word for information in terms of its historical development, we establish its French origin, study the changes and its semantic and morphological structures. So relationship between the lexicology and the stylistic can be seen such kind of words. For example, to begin and to commence mean one and the same meaning, but they can never be used interchangeably because they have different stylistic differences. And also we can see the words between horse and steed. So the relationships, approaches, and the sub-branches of lexicology. So the relationship exists between words, maybe either syntagmatic and the paradigmatic. So the syntagmatic relationship is found in the context. The context is the minimum stretch of speech which is necessary to bring out the meaning of a word. For example, to take a tea, to take a tram. In these two word combinations, take has different meanings. So the paradigmatic relationship is the relations between words within the vocabulary. Polysemantic words, for example, synonymy, antonymy words, and so on. There are two approaches to the study of vocabulary of a language, diachronic and the synchronic. By its name, diachronic approach deals with the historical change, historical development, and the historical undergo of different words, while synchronic deals with the present time vocabulary of the system of any kind of language. So lexicology has some subdivisions. The first one is semasiology, second word formation, the third one is etymology, fourth one is phraseology, and the last one is lexicography. So semasiology deals with different meaning of words. As it's known, there are lots of meanings of one word. For example, situations, we have polysemantic words. In English, it is considered all words are polysemantic, besides just terms like bacteria and the synonymy, antonymy. So word formation studies all possible ways of forming new words. For example, there are lots of types of forming new words in English, main and the secondary ways. The main ways are affixation, abbreviation. Secondary ways are maybe considered blending, clipping, and so on. So etymology, next subdivision is etymology. Etymology studies the origin of words in English. For example, let's take the word pedagogics or pedestrian or logopedics. So if the word ped derived from Greek, it means child. That's why pedagogics and logopedics deals with the child. There are close relationship, the meaning with child, while pedestrian or pedicure has a meaning of foot because ped derived from Latin root. Next type is the phraseology. Phraseology studies the set expressions and phraseological units. They are ready-made units. We do not make them in the process of communication. So lexicography deals with the studying, compiling different kind of dictionaries. So the next type is word and the word studies in lexicology. What is a word? What is a lexicology? What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So these famous lines taken by Romeo and Juliet, written by William Shakespeare. These famous lines reflects one of the fundamental problems of linguistic research. What is a name in a word? Is there any direct connection between a word and the object it represents? Could a rose have been called by any other name, as Juliet says? These and the similar questions are answered by lexicological research. It is significant that many scholars have attempted to define the word a linguistic phenomenon. Yet, none of the definitions can be considered totally satisfactory in all aspects. It is equally surprising that despite all achievements of modern science, certain essential aspects of the nature of the word still escape us, nor do we fully understand the phenomenon called language, of which the word is a fundamental unit. So, in conclusion, we know nothing or almost nothing about the mechanism by which a speaker's mental process is converted into sound groups called words, nor about the reserve process whereby a listener's brain converts into the acoustic phenomena into concepts and ideas, thus establishing a two-way process of communication. We know very little about the nature of relations between the word and its referent, example, object, phenomenon, quality, action, etc., denoted by the word. So there are external and internal structure of word in lexicological research. So by external structure of the word, it's understood that morphological structure of the word. For example, in the word post-impressionist, the following morphemes can be distinguished: the prefix post, im, the root press, and the noun-forming suffix ion, est, and the grammatical suffixes plurality s. So the internal structure, when we say the internal structure of the word, it is understood that the meaning of the word, it means vocabulary meaning of the word. So nowadays commonly refused to the word's semantic structure. There are the area of lexicology specializing the semantic structure of the word is called semantics. So the word unity, the word possesses both external and semantic unity. For example, a black bird and a black bird. In the first example, so a black bird, it means one type of a bird, but the second one is a black bird. It refers the color of the bird black, and then we can change them black with other colors, green, white, red, etc. So the next one is comparative study of the English and Uzbek languages. For example, if we compare different languages, especially Uzbek and English, they are non-related languages because English originally is Indo-European language, while Uzbek originally is Turkish language. So that's why there are lots of differences between them. For example, comparing the meaning of the word hand and its correspond in Uzbek qul. For example, in Uzbek qul, the first meaning is odamning barmoq uchlaridan ilkasigacha bo'lgan qismi, tana a'zosi. Second meaning is hayvonlarning oldingi oyoqlari. Third meaning is barmoq. The next meaning har kimning yozuv usuli. The next meaning imzo. Sixth meaning ish usuli. And the last, seventh meaning ixtiyor, eighth imkoniyat. So let's compare with the hand in English, the meanings of the word Uzbek. For example, hand, the first meaning is qo'l. Second, hayvonning oldingi oyoqlari. Third, taraf. 4, boshqarish. 5, rozilik. 6, yordam. 7, bir o'yinchi qo'lidagi karta. Next, ishchi. Next, dengizchi. Next, bir to'da odam, etc., etc. So, as can be seen from the above, only some meanings may be described as identical, but others are not identical. They are different. They correlated word with hand and the qo'l may be components of different phraseological units into languages. For example, in the hand of God, in Uzbek, Xudo rozi, or in Uzbek word combination, qo'li ishga bormaydi, or in English, at the hand, in Uzbek, yonida. Next, in Uzbek, qo'lni qo'lga berib, or in English we can see to live from hand to mouth, zo'rg'a kun ko'rmoq. Or Uzbek, qo'lingga erk berma, and in English, at any hand, har ehtimolga qarshi. And the next Uzbek, qo'lidan kelmaydi. In English, to have clean hands, it means in Uzbek, haqiqatgo'y bo'lmoq. And other components we can observe. So, in the semantic structure of Uzbek word may be defined figurative meaning which its corresponding English word doesn't possess. For example, bu voqea menga katta maktab bo'ldi. So, this event was good lesson to me. Not this event was good school to me. The number of English synonyms sets may be substituted by one word in Uzbek. For example, the verb accept, admit, adopt, take, receive corresponds to Uzbek meaning of the word qabul qilmoq. In English, in Uzbek word rassom correspond 3 words. For example, painter, artist, drawer. So, in Uzbek, 6 words are used to express the notion blow. For example, blow in English, we can translate into Uzbek, urush, zarba, zarb, urilish, taqillatish, tepish. In English, more than 20 words denote this notion. They are blow, smack, slap, whack, poke, dig, rub, note, stroke, and etc. So, thank you for your attention. That's the end of today's lesson. See you soon.